of you have arrived later, so we're going to repeat a bit of stuff and sell you some new stuff. But first of all, just going to do a feeding demonstration to let you know how to feed the dolphins when you're on deck. Alright? Who have I got? So yes, this is Harmony. He's about 24. As Sammy said, he's had a bit of a hard life. He's had 3 significant shark attacks, let alone anything else. You can see all the scarring on him. So I'm just going to give him a fish. So we just pop the fish on your hand like that, anchor it down with your thumb because it can get a bit slippery, and then we put it under the water. Yeah, put it underneath. Yeah. And then we take our hands out straight away. It is actually illegal in Queensland to touch a dolphin, or feed them actually, but this is a licensed feeding centre, hence why we can feed them and you can as well. Alright. So then I've got Joe here, who's 8 years old, and so Joe's classed as a juvenile. And as they mentioned, he's got all these markings because he's been fighting with the dolphin. Is that right? Yeah. And he heals well, and then he goes and does it all. Alright, there you go.
Sorry? Oh, nice speak.
Alright, so then we've got Ella.
Australia. Nice speak.
So Ella's our 43-year-old female. She's the matriarch of the group. The big boys tend to think they're the boss, but we know she is. We've actually seen her telling off Harmony, like she'll just get a run like that.
So once again, you just hold the fish in your hand with the water.
So Ella's had 7 calves, and Joe, who I just said, is one of her calves, and then she's also the other calf who died, who's 3.5. Harmony, so we're still going to be Joe's trying it on, see his moves up, we know what's in that blue bucket. Is that good? They must be a bit hungry this morning. It appears that Luna's had a bit of an injury. Luna's 7 years old, and Ella's grandson actually. But he's got a bit of a dint on his rostrum, and we think he's had some kind of knock, and he's having a bit of trouble eating opening his rostrum. So we're not letting him come and feed him at the moment. He's eating and he's keeping his weight on, so we're not overly concerned. So they're very playful this morning. It's like the water's quite, the way the water is, and it affects their behaviour as well. Alright, so just going to repeat some of the history of the dolphins. So how this all started was back in the 1950s, there was a dolphin that came into the coast up there, and it was beached itself, it was injured. The locals fed it, because back then you could feed dolphins, fed it back to health, and then it went out, and then it returned, surprisingly to them, with other members of the pod. So it became a learned behaviour that, if you come into TinCan Bay as a dolphin, you will get fed. And that has for a number of years up till now. Now, one of the notorious dolphins that were born, which was in 1991, was called Mystique. And we've already talked about the gift giving, it's a male trait. And Mystique became very well known because one day he came in wearing a pair of sunglasses. Like literally had them on his rostrum. Yeah? Now, if you want to see a photograph later, there is a photograph over there next to the fish bait. And if you look at the. Oh, okay, so Luna's coming.
So just come on the tail. And straight out.
Alright, so he's eating that, so that's good. Alright. those pelicans are being very quiet for the time being, so hopefully they will stay like that, because when we do the feeding, sometimes the pelicans try to get the fish before it gets to the dolphin. But they behave themselves at the moment. Anyway, so yes, there's also a picture of Mystique wearing the sunglasses at the bottom of the big poster right at the front there. So the other thing, he became well known. Oh, by the way, sorry, that photograph went on Facebook and it went viral, and then that led to a lot of we got contact from overseas and stuff. They were saying, have you edited that in any way? And the answer was, yeah, right. Anyway, so yeah, it went viral, so it gave us a lot of media attention and to the dolphins here, which is great. Yeah. Now the other thing that happened was he one morning brought in 23 items. Yes, so up until we finished here, which is around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So that's a lot of items, yeah. Now a lot of the items are rocks, as you've seen. They'll bring in seed pods, but other things that they bring in, the most prolific thing they bring in is beer bottles. Right now, it's a shame, isn't it, that there's the beer bottles that don't naturally occur out in the wild that these dolphins are bringing in. There's a bucket there, and you can see what they've brought in just this morning. There's shelves over there, there's a shelf thing that shows you other things they've brought in. So Luna one day came in with a houseboat fire alarm on his rostrum, so that's over there. We had a rear vision mirror, came in the other day. We've got a big battery over there. They're bringing all sorts of stuff, yeah. So interestingly, as Sam said, Patch and Mystique used to come in together. So it's interesting that one morning that Patch actually came in. I was on that day a couple of years ago, also wearing a pair of sunglasses. So, and then Patch during COVID, because those volunteers would come down and still feed dolphins, even though the public wasn't just to doing that routine. And Patrick brought in 24 items, so he's now the record holder by one item in any given morning. So Mystique stopped coming in 2021, so he came in here for 30 years. Yeah, so he was quite notorious initially. I never quite got to meet him because I started just after he stopped coming in, so, which is a shame. Yeah, so the other thing that we need to mention is in around about 2011, the Department of Environment and Science decided it was time that this became more regulated, so that the dolphins weren't becoming reliant on us feeding them, and they could still go out into the wild and they still have to catch their own fish.